This morning on a very special Good Morning Killer Bunnies.
We are chasing the Ferengi because they stole something.
We will be covering value threat theory.
The RG creation runs through Killer Bunnies, heroes versus villains.
Good morning, Killer Bunnies, and welcome to Good Morning Killer Bunnies! So let's start the morning right with another Killer Bunnies The Next Generation summaries.
Space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of the SS Sky. Its continuing mission to explore strange new worlds, to seek out new life and new civilizations, to boldly go where no bunny has gone before. Pew. We are chasing the Ferengi because they stole something. I'm not exactly clear what it was, but we will get it back. Pew pew! Oh no, we got hit! Oh! Report! Power is failing everywhere. We'll go to engineering, find out why. Data! What do you know about these Ferengi?
Well, Captain, I don't really know much. I just know they're a bunch of traitors, Calvia Dempter and all that.
Yes. Buyer beware. But we're not buying anything from them. We're just trying to get the thing back that they stole. How come our power's not back up already? Riker, you go too and try to figure it out. Yes, Captain. Picard to engineering. So, what's going on? I'm not quite sure. It just looks like we're stuck in a Ferengi force field.
Yeah, but I think we can break through. There's just this itty bitty teeny tiny itty bitty delay where if we punch it in time, we'll be able to escape.
Hooray! Picard to the Ferengi ship.
Yes, it is I, the Ferengi.
Oh, hey, look, everyone, it's Quark.
What? Who is this Quirk?
Yeah, it's totally you, Quark. Hey, how's it going, guy? I didn't know you would show up so early.
I tell you, I am not Quark.
Are you not Ferengi?
I am clearly a Ferengi, Captain, but not all Ferengis are Quark.
Are you not played by Armin Shimmerman?
Yes, I am, but not all Ferengis who are played by Armin Shimmerman are Quark.
Oh, you're so funny, Quark. If you are going to hold us in this force field, then we will try to pull away from it. Huh.
Captain, all our computer stuff is being read by someone.
Captain, I know that we think it's the Ferengi, but we've been ignoring the planet.
What could a planet have to do with... Oh, maybe it could have something to do with it. Emergency meeting. So, we tried to get away from the Ferengi ship, but it didn't work.
I know we tried to negotiate super hard with the Ferengi. Did we offer them anything they wanted?
It forgot to occur to me to offer them something they wanted. What do you think, number one? I'm, pretty sure you don't call me that yet. An astute observation. Open hail frequencies.
Yes, Captain, what is it?
We want out of this tractor beam. We would like to leave, so we'll just do whatever you want. Sound good?
So you wish to surrender. Nothing short of that will get you what you want. Because we will die before dishonor, because we are the super honorable Ferengi. Also, why do you say we hold you? You hold us, guy.
No, you're holding us here, friend.
Why are you holding us in this force field?
No, you're holding us in the force field.
No, you need to let us go, Betty.
No, you need to let us go, guy. A thought occurs. Hey there, little kids. We don't want to pay to have Wesley in this episode, so how about you run along to remind everyone that the captain's not so good with kids. Tikkun? Tikkun, I've never heard of this Tikkun before this very second.
Yar, Captain, we're being hailed by the Ferengi, yar.
This is Captain Picard of the SS Sky.
Yes, Captain.
So, So I guess neither of us are holding the other here. It's got to be the planet. Wanna team up?
If that's what's going on, then yes, we must team up. But that means you're gonna stop chasing us, right?
Hey, we're only chasing you to get back the thing that you stole. So, alright, let us build up trust by going together on the planet to get that from stopping both of us from being held here.
Alright, Captain. Good enough. Let's go down to the planet.
Alright, let us beam down. Choo, whoop, pew. Wow, what a stormy planet. Perhaps that's why I landed here. Alone. Oh, no, wait, Data's just right there.
Oh, it's good to find you.
What's with these giant crystals?
I don't know. They don't actually do anything. They just seem to be inert. Oh, and also there's Jordy behind you.
Hey guys, I landed upside down, but that's easily remedied. See?
Riker to the SS Sky. Come in, Sky. Well, it looks like our communicators are useless.
Captain, the ship is losing power, and everyone's freezing to death and dying, and nobody cares about randos in the background. They're just gonna die and freeze to death because there's no life support.
We will not let you get away with this. Yeah.
Oh, yarr! I have a gun. Yarr!
Captain, it's so cold.
Where's Wesley?
I know normally he would be with me in this literal life and or death situation, but that would have meant paying him to be here, and I just don't think we can do that, so I made him stay in our room.
Not entirely sure that's in character, but season 1, okay.
Yes, I could have given him a sedative so that he'd fall asleep before he died to death.
Oh, okay. Do we need to get that dark? Speaking of, he has the right to face death awake.
He's like 12.
Yarr!
Pew pew! Pew pew!
Oh, Commander, I see what's going on. Our weapons are not working so good because their power accumulators. They were inert before, but now they are consuming any energy output that we're putting out.
Okay. Enough! Who are you? I am the guardian of the Takan Empire, who you've clearly heard of. So you wish to enter our empire? Why would we want to enter a dead empire? We're not dead. See, clearly I'm alive. Woo!
Total eons have passed. You must have just been asleep for that whole time.
I never sleep. I'm a floating head.
We will get rid of the humans for you if you let us go. Because the humans, they're mean. And they lie and they cheat. Yeah, and also steal and kill. And sometimes they get puppies. Humans are just awful. Not sure why I don't kill them all myself.
You there, Riker. You're the leader. I challenge you to combat. But I want to fight. No, he said me, Worf. Hey, how about this? Fear is the true enemy. The only enemy. Know your enemy, know yourself. The only thing to fear is fear itself. Where did you learn these things? From watching Star Trek. Chinese philosophy. Alright, y'all can go.
Power restored.
There's just one more thing. First you wanted to fight them, then you wanted to work with them. The Ferengi could still learn a thing or two, which you can't do when you're dead. Good work, basically being the same person doing the same job. Captain, I was wondering if we could, do a little something for the Ferengi ship. What did you have in mind, Riker? Destroy them completely outright? No, Captain, that's not necessary. However,
And now here's Carrot Top Academy with the Tucker's Theoreticals.
Welcome to episode 2 of Tucker's Theoreticals. In this episode, we will be covering value threat theory. It is a common situation in most games where a player must decide which bunny should I target. Many players would look at this state and objectively say the pink lethal bunny is the biggest threat and should be targeted first, then the red lethal, and then of course the standard blue congenial. Value threat theory states that every card's value to the player is objectively equally a threat to the opponent. So since the pink lethal has a lot of value to the player, the opponents will consider it a great threat. Therefore, opponents should objectively retaliate proportionally. The bigger the threat, the bigger the retaliation. The more players ahead, the more high value cards you will use against them. A card's worth, therefore, is equal to its value minus its retaliation. Note that this theory only applies in groups with 4 or more players. Any group smaller than that, there may not be sufficient retaliations. Let's look at an example. Let's say you gain a carrot. That carrot has worth until you are forced to return it. If that carrot is not returned at the end of the game, it has a worth of $10. Quite simple. If you're forced to return that carrot, perhaps by a return a carrot card, you gained $10 value, and then you lost $10 value by the retaliation, meaning that carrot had a net worth of $0. If having the extra carrot provoked an opponent to excessively retaliate, it may actually be worth -$. In theory, every card's worth should be 0, since every card's value should cause an equal retaliation. In practice, however, this doesn't apply, and this is actually the greatest strength of the value threat theory, is that it doesn't apply in practice. This allows for players to have control over the game through social interaction. And this is actually foundational to the understanding of all Killer Bunny strategy. So let's consider a situation from before. How many variables are there in actually choosing targets? Well, there are actually limitless variables in deciding which opponent is actually a threat. Let's consider a few. Just for example, the current value, which is what we discussed before. The pink lethal is worth much more than the red lethal. There's of course the anticipated counter retaliation. If I kill that pink lethal, how much will that opponent retaliate against me? There's of course the past value. How much did they have before, and how much can I get away with by targeting them because of their past value? Future value. Perhaps you're really good at hand reading and good at countering the hidden investment strategy, where a player may be keeping very impactful cards in their hand. Previous games. If that player is currently on a win streak, you may be more likely to target them. Game knowledge. This is one that affects players like me or Jeff himself, where if you are known to be a player who has excellent knowledge of the game, you are by nature a bigger threat. Of course, there's your reputation. This goes hand in hand with the anticipated counter retaliation. If you are a player who has a reputation as someone who's extremely aggressive, you may be targeted more and may be considered a bigger threat. And unfortunately, personal relationships can sometimes get involved here. If you had a real life disagreement with a player before the game, that disagreement may carry over into the game. And of course, much more. So when choosing targets, the question is, are there really obvious threats? The answer? Optimal strategies are group dependent, and therefore constantly shifting. As one strategy is found to be successful, another strategy will be used to counter it. Because the strategies are so diverse and all cards objectively have zero worth besides social interaction influences, luck of the draw therefore does not exist. If you get all high value cards, that will just make you that much more of a threat, and in all cases, the 3 players should be able to outvalue the 1, no matter how high value their cards were. Strategies from all categories are ultimately rooted in varying applications of this theory. This has been episode 2 of Tucker's Theoreticals, going over the value threat theory. And as always, Jeff bless.
And now, our featured presentation. So it looks like this week is going to be the end of our Killer Bunnies Heroes vs. Villains mini-series. Oh, the finales are always so long. You've probably seen how long this episode is. Well, this is the brunt of it. For the next 42 minutes, watch as I play Killer Bunnies Heroes vs. Villains. Hey everybody. Today, the RG creation runs through Killer Bunnies Heroes vs. Villains. This is a part of the Killer Bunnies in the Ultimate Odyssey family, and I will be going through the casual rule set that comes with the game. Now with that out of the way, welcome to Killer Bunnies Heroes vs. Villains. This is, like I said, the casual rule set, so we have our common draw pile. We have our 3 different dice, the 6, 12, and 20 sided, and we have our pieces of different numbers. Now to note, we only use the red side of these for this rule set. So let's get started. So we're going to deal out 7 cards to each player, which has already been done. So because my name is Richard and my wife's name is Jen, that's confusing. So instead, I'm just going to say player 1, player 2. So let's look at what player 1 has. So we have several run cards, and you may have noticed we have resource cards. Now, with these rules, if you get a resource card, you are just immediately going to put that off to the side. And we now have, player 1 has 2 resource cards to use. So we're going to draw 2 cards. Now, those are green resource cards, and although we do have a green resource bunny, we don't have enough resources to play any of that. We also don't have any cards that require only 2. The next thing, do we have any special cards that perhaps we can set aside after? We do not. We only have run cards. So it looks like this turn is going to be a run something through to trash. So it's not going to matter. So let's do a weapon runner, and let's see. Well, we kind of want to have bunnies and we kind of want to have cities. In order to win the game, you are going to want to have 4 cities in the city circle and 4 bunnies in the bunny circle. That's not 4 bunnies total, that's 4 bunnies in the bunny circle beyond what's already in your cities. So let's, I don't know. I have a double. Let's go with that. Just move this down a little bit, and we know we have those resources. All right. Player 2, at the same time, will be looking what they have. Resource, set aside. Resource, set aside. So player 2 also picks up 2 cards. And resource, set aside. Just FYI, this deck was not stacked. I just shuffled whatever I get, what I get. This run through is what this run through is. I kind of feel like let's save a very special card. So that's running through. When you flip it over, instead of playing or discarding it, we'll set it off in our player area to be used at a later time. So that's one. The next one, so we have 3 resources. That's 2 lands, the yellows, and 1 crops, the green. Do I have anything that I could end up using that would make sense? Trip. Trip may be used once by a player to take 3 resource cards closest to the top of his draw pile. So within this rule set, it says his draw pile. So like I said, this is part of the Ultimate Odyssey family. But we are not playing by the standard Ultimate Odyssey rules. We are playing by the casual rule set. So when it says his draw pile, it does just mean the draw pile. And to put them directly into as saved resource cards, player must reshuffle the draw pile. You know what? Let's stack ourselves with resource cards. And there we go. There we go. So what did we just do? We set down the cards that we will be playing. This is the pre-programming aspect of the game. When player 1 goes, they're going to flip the card, which is what we're going to do right now. And oh, that's right, we have to discard this card. I use the word trash, kind of the same thing. So let's go to discard. We need to have 7 cards total. That's 2 down, 5 in our hand. So let's, oh, there we go. 2 green crops and 1 yellow land. Next card. Oh, sorry, I dropped that. So that does not give us enough to play anything yet. And of course I have to choose something. Green Lantern is my favorite superhero, so I'm just going to default keep him in. I'll just discard the one that I keep. That I just got, rather. Okay, player... Oh, let's move these up, sorry. Player 2. Trip! Oh, look at this. I'm going to take 3 resource cards closest to the top of the draw pile and put them directly in play. So let's go ahead and do that. Sorry, this is going to take a moment. I might just speed this section up. 1, 2, 3. Oh, okay, that didn't take so long. But you can see how that could have sucked. It says to shuffle it in. Normally I would, but for the sake of brevity, let's just continue on. I'm going to move this up a little bit. All right. So we have 5 cards in our hand, 1 card down that I'm going to slide up. Let's draw. Oh, resource. Wow, this player 2 has 7 resources total. That's 2 land, 3 crops, a technology, and a universal. Universal resource is nice because it allows it to be, of course, a wild. All right, let's draw a card. The radical one. Change the outcome of any one. You can change a die roll. Very special. Maybe let's stack up our very specials. Why not? Okay. So, player 1 goes. And because they only have 3 resources instead of 5, they must discard their card. Draw. Slide. I'm just going to do doubles. Set. Player 2. Time Travelers. May be used once by a player to re-roll his die or dice rolls for a single card consequence. Very nice. I will set this aside in my player area to be used at a later time. So in this case, if I did end up using it, I do indeed have 3 crop resources. Crops being the one with this symbol. The larger picture doesn't matter, it's what the symbol itself is. They're all the same. Also, if I were to play this card, I would need to have not played those crop resources before. So what happens when it is your turn? You play your card. The card gets played. You use up whatever resources is for that turn. Those resources are no longer for you to be able to use until it comes your turn again. So if I still had resource cards before it came to my turn again, then yes, of course, I could use this card. If not, I could not use that card because I could not pay the resource cost. Resource! Wow! Player 2 is raking it in. Oh, that's a nice city. Okay, let's see. So I'm just looking at it right now. Player 2 has 4 crops, 2 land, 1 technology, and a universal. Are we a no? Do we have a bunny? Do we have a bunny? No bunnies. Oh, that's too bad. Because 1, 2, 8. Because I have enough cards to build a city. However, you cannot build a city unless you are able to put a bunny in it. That's one of the rules. You can have a city built, have enough damage be taken to the city that you can no longer have that bunny in it. But, or sorry, rather, if you had enough hit points that it could be abandoned, someone else could take that city. However, to build a city in the first place, you need to be able to put a bunny in it. What's good? Run, 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 run. Yeah, city, bunny modifier, bargains. This you don't need to have a bunny in play, even though it's a bunny modifier, because you could put it under another bunny. Perhaps there's some kind of deal you can make with the other player that would give you bunny modifier. Let's try a weapon. Because you get what you get, right? Okay, player 1's turn. And he only has 3 resources, so he must discard. Well, hello. But you need to have a bunny to play. Who owns the target must roll 2 creatures. Switch places. I don't have a bunny. No one has a bunny. It's still early game, so it's not easy to just... And such is the way of it. Player 2, Radical One, needs to have a bunny, but it's very special, so I'm going to go ahead and save it. Maybe I can play it at a later time. Move that up. And Fight Club. You can want a player to force the owner or owners of one superhero bunny and one villain bunny to fight each other by rolling dice. It is a run card. Okay. And you need to have stuff to play stuff. All right. 1 player, bunnies, no resources. 1 player, resources, no bunnies. Might be a good time to bring up that you can trade. You're able to trade your saved resources, special cards, very special cards, any bunnies in the bunny circle, or any cities in the city circle, along with the bunnies inside the city. And it's up to the players to determine what's being traded for what. How many is being traded for how many. You can only trade cards once. So if you traded a resource, that resource could not be traded back, nor could it be traded to another player. you are able to trade cards from your hand. This is a one-to-one basis. So a person is able to trade, for example, one card from his hand for one card from an opponent's hand. At the end of the trade, both players will still have 5 cards. And top and bottom cards cannot be traded, period. So I kind of feel like let's get this game going. Let's give my guy to player 2. And what's player 2 gonna give up for that? Ooh, what do you want? Do you even have a city? Yes, cities. Maybe removed. Okay, fair enough. If you're ever able to build a city, you can remove negative score squares from it. How does that sound? Now, of course, I don't know whose turn it is, because why would I keep track of that? Let's say player 1's gonna go. Oh no, he has to trash the card. Resource, there we go. 2 crops, a land, and a technology. Resource, 3 crops, technology and land, and a city. So now that he's able to play something at least, 5, he's gonna go ahead and be desperate and play a bunny. Player 2's turn. Weapon, but nothing to play a weapon on. It is run card, so you have to discard. Draw, slide, draw. The results end up being the same typically. Okay, so we indeed have even 4 crops. So yep, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna end up with a bunny soon. And oh, I forgot I put that down. All right, well let's go ahead and play this. So I'm gonna play it. Now the cost of playing this card, this is a bunny. The cost of playing the card is 3 technologies and 2 of anything. So with what we have 1 technology. We do indeed have 2 of anything. I'll go with crops. Got to pick something. But now we have 2 cards, of which we don't have specifically technology. We'll set these aside as being used, and these, 1 land and 1 crop. In order to play that, you can use the incorrect resources, but in order to do that, you must discard them. So, for the sake of getting the game kind of going, let's do that. Draw a card. Ground weapon. And 3 resources. Nope. Run. No. Special is very special. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, what you get? All right. Bargains. Bargains may be placed on any bunny in the bunny circle or any city in the city circle. The player rolls a d6, 12, and 20 dice. Bunny or city is eliminated if the player rolls the same number on any of the dice as the bunny's or city's point value. I do not have a bunny. I cannot play this card. Ooh, fan bunnies. All right. Let's get some bunnies going. Player cannot play this because I forgot I had played that. Anyways, more bunnies, but you only need 2. What kind of game are we playing here? Let's put the bunnies down. All right. We have 4 crops even, and we have, what's that, 8 total altogether, so we're just going to go ahead and put that. Just to be sure, let's set 5 aside, so I still am able to use 3 cards if I so chose. These 3 down here I can still use. Okay. And a city. Bunny. 2, 3. And then, okay, so yeah, I can put a bunny down. I can put a city down. Let's go with bunnies for now. See if we can hedge our bets with ending up with more resources later. Player 1. Ground weapon. Unable to play. He has a bunny, so he is able to play it on that condition. However, he only has 3 resources altogether, so must trash. Resource. That's 3 crops, 1 technology. Resource. 3 crop, 2 technology. And a Yang bunny. And for the sake of getting a game going, let's put down another bunny. Blah. And now that it's my turn, really, now that it's my turn, I should have completely reset the resources I have. Those 8 are now usable by me again. 2 land, which I have, 2 land. And this is a bunny, so I will put it in the bunny circle. Another city. Oh, sorry. City modifier. This is something you can put on a city that gives you the ability to move a bunny out of the city into the bunny circle, which can really help you out. If your city's getting attacked, you can... No, that doesn't make sense. It's not a special. So, for example, at the end of the game, if you have 3 bunnies in the bunny circle, but you have a spare bunny in the city, move it out at the beginning of your turn and win, you know? I do not have a city built. I will go ahead and just keep that. All right. So I'm going to, 10. I only have 8. Oh no, this is 8. Okay. I need 8 resources. And I have 8 resources. Let's get her going. Player 1 is going to have 2 technologies. So let's put it down in the bunny circle. Ba-boom, another resource. Technology, 3 technologies now. The city, that needs 7, and I only have 6. So, but this needs 5. So I'm going to go ahead and, I'm going to go ahead and do that. Player is going to reset the resources, and yeah. All right, we're getting some bunnies going. And I do have 2 land resource and a wild, the universal, so that will fill in for the 3rd land. And then 2 of anything else with 8 total. I have that, so that will go in my bunny circle. And, ooh, is this a city? Yes, it is. And I have the resources to be able to pay for that. Here's hoping I don't trash too many crops because I forgot that I was building this after that. Player 1 is going to go. And sure, I will play it. And I'm going to get rid of a crop in order to be able to play it. So now I have 2 crops, 3 technologies. Oh, set up. Draw. Ooh, a weapon. Is that the kind of weapon I want to be playing right now because I don't have land? Or do I want to build another city? Oh, and yes, I would have to trash for that, but you have to trash to build a city anyways. I'm going to build this city. and not build this city yet. I'm going to hedge. Sorry, I'm looking at this. Use once by player to roll d12, damage, negate. This is good to keep. Okay, so there comes a point where I'm just going to get rid of a city. I guess I'll get rid of this one. And by get rid of course, I mean run through and discard when it comes up. Oh, a city. Look at that. Okay, so I have 8 resources. But in order to build a city, I need to discard 2 of anything. So me having 8 resources means I will for sure have 6 by the time this is built. And I do indeed have a land, so I'm going to set that aside. Of course, I'm not going to get rid of my universal, so I'll set that aside. What do? Do I hedge another land, technology, and 2 crops and get rid of 2 crops? Well, got to do something, so that's what I'm going to do. Let's move on. The city is built. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 1 or more bunnies up to that hit point value. See, that's a risk. So if I were to, for example, take this 5 and 5, yes, I can put these into this city. However, if someone were to send a city weapon against this city, then that means I would not be able to hold as many. So if this got 1 hit point, so this is in the city. So if someone hit this and now it's at 9 hit points, I would have to discard one of these bunnies. Well, I don't want to do that. I want to have bunnies. You know what? I'm just going to go ahead and just put one. Put that. I'm going to move these down for the sake of being able to see what we're doing. All right. I'll do that for this too. All right. So player 2 has 2 bunnies in the bunny circle and 1 city in the city circle. So in a game of 4 and 4, we need 2 more down here, and we would need 3 more there. All right, 5. Let's draw a card. Ooh, a Yang bunny. Let's do it. Oh, I did discard. So yeah, and these are set aside to be unable to use during. All right, let's flip the card. Ooh, let's also build a city. So same thing. We have a technology. We need 2 of other things as well. What do? Do I just keep all technologies and trash 2 crops? Well, like I say, got to do something. Perhaps you would do something else. That's fine. And you must put a bunny. This is what I will be doing this turn. Now we have 1 and 2. Oh, a very special. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and have a card to save. Let's draw. And 1, 2. And indeed, I forgot. However, I have 2 crops and a universal and 2 of others. So that doesn't affect my ability to play it without consequence. Ooh, here we go. Another resource. 3 land. And another land. We're back up to 8 resources. Another land. 9 resources. Ooh, a city. I think I should draw the city. Or play the city, rather. Yeah. And the city that I cannot play. Very special. Time travelers may be used once by a player to re-roll his die or dice rolls for a single card consequence. Let's save it. And Yang, let's play it. Set one technology aside, and oh, I only have 8 cards left. What do we got? Ooh, a city weapon. And I have 1, 2, 3 lands and 3 of anything else. Let's go ahead and play a weapon down. And we have very special. I'm just going to go ahead and save this. This may be used once by a player to sacrifice any one hero bunny in play to counteract the damage caused by a city weapon. Ho ho ho! Oh, if I only knew what I played down. Okay, so I'm going to set that aside and save it. Card up, draw. Ooh, resource. So now I'm back to 4 resources and a Fargans. Back to 4 resources. I can't play any city. Oh, but let's throw a weapon at someone's bunny. And by someone, I mean the only other player's bunny. All right, let's. Are we playing this city? Yes, of course we're playing this city. So we have a crop, and we have 3 of anything else, and let's discard 2. So I am abundant with land, so I'm gonna go ahead, discard 2 lands. 8. Do I want to put 3 bunnies? Because I could put a 5 and a 1 and a 2 in there. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep it at 1. I'm not here to show off any strategy or anything like that. I'm just here. This is what the game feels like to play. Ooh, and another city weapon. And I do have. Sure. Let's keep trying to blow player 2 up. This is called Killer Bunnies, not Let's Play Nicely with Each Other Bunnies. Time Travelers. Reroll a dice or dice. Very nice. And a Yang Bunny. And I have a Universal, so I'll go ahead and play that. And here we go. Sewage Spill. I have 3 and 3. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Sewage Spill may be used once by a player and placed on any opponent's city in the steady circle. There is only 1 to play. The city takes damage equal to the number that the opponent rolls on the d6 die. So because this is not a weapon, it is instead a disaster. It works a little bit differently than a weapon would. We'll get to a weapon as you saw. I played one down. So this is literally, I play this here. Whatever this number is, that's the damage it takes. 4. And this has 7 hit points total. So what I'm going to do is take a couple of these. It is now at 7 minus 4. So it says it has 3 hit points. That gets discarded. And the bunnies in here are tracksters, and they are 2 hit points. So the city that has 3 is still able to hold the bunnies that have 2. So this remains my player 1's city. So that's a disaster. And resource. Wow. Okay. And resource relocation. May be used once by a player to steal up to 3 saved resources used by the previous player during his last turn. So, if player 1 used 3 resources, I can just take them. Of course I'm going to run that. And hope that he uses 3 resources. Okay, player 1. Hey, a ground weapon! And there are 1, 2, 3 different targets he can go for. Any creature in the bunny circle, of course, means bunny in the bunny circle. The opponent, who owns the bunny, must roll d12. Here we go. We got the d12 to defend against the ground weapon. So, I'm going to, for the sake of illustration, put it on the one with the most hit points. This one has 5, so there. So 10. Nothing happens. Okay. However, if I were to roll it and instead of a 10, it were a 6, what would end up happening is the same thing as the disaster. Except this time, instead of the numbers, it is the difference. So because 8 minus 10 is negative, nothing happens. However, 8 minus 6 is below, the defender doesn't get enough. It would be putting the minus 2 squares on here. So it would be 5 minus 2. This would be 3 hit points to get rid of. But I'm going to go with the original roll. So nothing happens, discard. So that's how weapons work, both city and ground. We're going to draw a card. Resource. Hey, getting stronger and stronger. Hey, a universal resource. Okay. I have another construction crew. Ooh, I have 2 construction crews. And I have 6 resources total. With 6 resources, I of course, and I have the bunnies to do it. Of course, I'm going to build a city. I'll go with the one with the most hit points. Because the other one, you need 5 resources, but it has 7 hit points. Let's give the city the best chance at staying in the city circle the longest amount of time. Player 2 draws a city weapon. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so unlike a disaster, a city weapon works like a ground level weapon. In that the opponent's not going to roll the d6, and whatever that number is, that's the damage. He's going to roll the d12, and it will be the difference. So he only has 1 city, so it's going to be d12. 8 minus 1. That's 7 hit points. So this is spent. It was successful even. And the city, which originally only had 7 hit points in the first place, has the extra 3 remaining hit points that were left on it. Done. And its occupants are also done. So, discard pile. Player. Oh, wait. I'm going to go ahead and allow myself a mulligan. And player 2 is kind enough to allow it because I have this Time Traveler's card. Maybe used once by a player to re-roll a die or dice for a single card consequence. Use it any time because it is very special. However, yes, at any time. So even though it's not my turn, which you would need to play a special card, it's very special, so I can play it anytime. Anytime. And I will play it now. So thanks, player 2, for allowing me to re-roll the die. So we're back. Oh, sorry. We're back at 8 minus 6. Well, okay then. So this is the new number that we are committed to. So if we remember, we had minus 4, and 8 minus 2 makes it 2. So now the city is at 6. Or sorry, minus 6, meaning at 1 hit point. So what that means is this Trexter's, which has 2 hit points on it, can no longer stay in the city. So, although the city is not destroyed, this bunny can no longer stay in it. Therefore, it is destroyed. That's right, you cannot put it back in the bunny circle unless you had an exit strategy, and even then, you could not use the exit strategy during this time because it's this player's turn. So, we now have an abandoned city with 1 hit point. Alright, so all the rule says is any abandoned city may be claimed by a player with at least 1 bunny in the bunny circle during his turn only. And because it is still my turn, that bunny is gone. This bunny has only 1 hit point, so I'm gonna go ahead and take that city, which brings me, oh, let's move these over, which gives me 3 cities in the city circle and 2 bunnies in the bunny circle. All right, I'm going to end it here. So I hope you kind of understand the gist, how this game feels, how it does start off slow, but as the game goes, you do get more resources. As you get more resources, you are able to play more cards. And sometimes that comes with the decision of needing to trash a card. So there's that push and pull of, I can play this card and have less resources for a while until I draw up more cards. Is that worth it to me? Sometimes it is. You get, you're able to play more cities, more bunnies sometimes. And that's all strategy stuff, which I have no interest in going into. This was strictly, this is how the game feels to play. A little bit slower than normal because I have to be a little bit long-winded about certain things. If we were playing a simple game, all I would have to do is get 3 cities in the city circle, and I would have to have 3 bunnies in the bunny circle. So really, player 2 is close to winning a simple game. A normal game would be 4 and 4. One of the things I realized I completely blanked out on is bunnies have powers. This is one of those, be sure you're always reading the cards, because if you were able to do something, you don't want to forget that you're able to do something. And as someone who's trying to play 2 players and keep track of that and keep it going without just sitting there every single turn, basically, I easily could have, let something slip. So all good. So these are just examples of, be sure you're reading. Okay, so that's the gist of Killer Bunnies Heroes versus Villains. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time that I do a next time thing. Bye. Thank you for joining me this week on this week's Good Morning Killer Bunnies. We'll see you next time. Thank you very much. Bye. I invite you to contribute. Please send an email to thergcreation@gmail.com. Also, come join us on the Facebook group, The Bunny Circle.
Jiminy Cricket! Speaking of dark, holy smokes! He's like 12! Actually, I don't actually know his age. Wait, I'm his mom. I shouldn't be saying that.
I don't actually know his age, but ho!